Tim, and welcome to the world of Grand Seiko. Today I will walk you through the usage and care of your Grand Seiko SBGN007. This is a quartz timepiece, a precise thermocompensated quartz timepiece adjusted to exceptional tolerances such that you can expect routine variance within 5 seconds plus or minus per year of operation. Now the timepiece has a battery that powers its thermocompensated quartz caliber with an approximate life of 3 years. So we'll discuss service down the line, but just keep in mind that the approximate duration of the watch's power source is 3 years in normal service. Now, there are a couple of ways to set the watch. The timepiece has 2 independently settable time zones, one with a 24-hour format. The gold hand makes 1 circuit of the dial per day, and the small silver Dauphine hand at center is your local hour hand. It makes 2 circuits of the dial per day. Now, the first thing you want to do when setting this watch, because you can indicate 2 time zones at once, is set the place where you are not. Set the time zone where you are not currently located. Because that gold hand is in 24-hour format, there's no doubt as to whether you're looking at AM, PM, day, or night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that hand to 8, and because the minute hand is referenced for both local and reference hours, the time is going to be 30 minutes where I am. So it's going to be 30 minutes where I am. It's going to be 8:30 in my reference time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that minute hand to 31 minutes. And what I'll generally do is I will stop the seconds hand directly at 12 o'clock. I will look up the time in my reference time zone as represented by an atomic clock that's accurate to that time zone. I'll stop that seconds hand at 12 o'clock. I'll set the correct hour, and I'll set the minute hand 1 minute ahead relative to my reference. And as soon as the reference time I've set matches to the hour, minute, and second, I'm just going to push that crown back in. The watch resumes its beat. It resumes its timekeeping. Now I've synchronized my reference time as well as my minute hand. I've set my watch to the hour, 24-hour format, minute, and second. But I still have that local time zone. That is the time zone where I currently am. And you can see how I can move that local 12-hour hand independently of the other hands. The watch keeps time even as I make adjustments. You'll also take note of the fact that that local hour hand drives the date. And it drives the date in either direction. So if you're traveling across the international date line, this can be a very handy travel feature. Also, remember, the 24-hour hand does not drive the date. The local hour hand drives the date. So I am going to set the time where I am currently located, and always turn once through the date change so you know where that local hour hand is in the 24-hour sequence. And I am going to set it to 3 in the afternoon, or it's going to be 3 in the afternoon and 32 minutes, so 15:32. Okay, now I have set both of my time zones. There are a number of areas of handling that require some caution. Hazard areas include water, magnetism, and shock. Let's talk about water first. This watch, mounted on a bracelet and water resistant to 10 bar or 100 meters. You can always find your Grand Seiko watch water resistance engraved on the case back, but 100 meters is sufficient for almost all casual aquatic activity. You don't want to use the watch for high dives, and you don't want to use it for any activity involving rebreather apparatus, but this is a swimmable watch. Keep in mind that you can help avoid accidental drowning by pushing the crown in and keeping it flush to the case. That first position is the safe position. So always keep the crown in that position, not just while the watch is submerged, but even while there's water on the case, as attempting to use the crown functions with a wet watch can bypass the case seals, introduce water to the interior of the timepiece, and play havoc with the mechanism as well as the dial itself. You can cause cosmetic as well as mechanical and electronic damage. It's also important to remember that water resistance is not a static feature of your watch, and over time, the seals and lubricants that maintain the hermeticity of your watch will ebb and degrade. So as water resistance declines with time, Grand Seiko recommends having your watch water tested at an authorized dealer at a minimum on an annual basis. A dry water test will determine whether your watch is still 10 bar water resistant. Magnetism is an unseen hazard, but a ubiquitous one. You'll find powerful static magnets in the closures of wallets, purses. refrigerator doors. You'll also find them in speakers and subwoofers, as well as the keyboard of your laptop. In many instances, there will be built-in speakers. Those magnets are powerful. Keep your watch remote from those. Keep your watch remote from powerful electromagnets. Keep it remote from your phone and personal devices, as well as high-powered wiring looms or wiring harnesses. Magnetism affects a quartz watch differently than a mechanical watch, and the result will often be to depolarize the stepper motors that actuate the hands. In time, when removed from the magnetic source, these motors will repolarize themselves. So the cure for a magnetized quartz watch oftentimes is to move it away from magnets and give it some time to repolarize itself and recover. If problems continue, talk to your Grand Seiko authorized dealer and additional remedies may be pursued. Concussion, however, poses a number of hazards to your watch. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends, in order to avoid damaging seals, damaging case components, damaging sapphire crystals, and damaging movements, that the watch not be used during concussive activities such as batting, tennis, golf, the riding of ATVs or mountain bikes, or firearms marksmanship. Finally, every fine timepiece requires a periodic comprehensive overhaul. In addition to its battery with an approximate 3-year life, this is a watchmaker assembled, watchmaker regulated, and thanks to its multi-jewel construction, watchmaker lubricated, high quality, lifetime thermocompensated quartz caliber. So it does require service just as a mechanical luxury timepiece would. This should be performed solely at an authorized service center or the Grand Seiko factory itself. And should service be performed, these agencies solely have trained personnel, specialized tools, and original factory replacement parts to preserve the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all labor and parts invested in the service with a Grand Seiko factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts, myself included, who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the ownership, usage, and care of this or any Grand Seiko timepiece.